Warning: the following program contains explicit content, outrageous opinions, and untrained professionals. It is intended only for mature audiences. Listener discretion is advised.
Prepare yourselves. The bells have tolled. Shelter your weak, your young, and your old. Each of you shall pay the final sum. Cry for mercy! The reckoning has come!
Welcome to your uncensored home for World of Warcraft with your hosts, Berzerker and Navox. This is Unshackled Fury.
The horseman is here, his mount still won't drop for everyone else, and we're finding out more of what life is like in the alternate timeline. Welcome to episode 78 of the Unshackled Fury podcast, your uncensored home for World of Warcraft news and opinions. I'm your host, Berzerker, and with me, as always, is the Peter Parker to my Stephen Strange. He is Navox. Welcome back again, sir.
Happy Hallows End.
Happy Hallows End.
We're there. I love it. I love the season. So, and I think a big congrats for you coming up here in a little bit on that in our what we do about WoW segment.
Yeah.
In order.
Thank you.
So.
Yeah, we'll get there. But you first. What have you been up to since last we were here?
Hey, I've been cleaning up stink bombs in Stormwind. Throwing stink bombs at the Undercity.
Yeah.
Got my fairy wings with my 6-month sub.
Yeah.
And what else have I been doing? I keep talking about it because I am like, listen, if I wasn't playing a warrior full time, I think at this point I would probably swap to playing a hunter. Slickrock has got me. Our one of our favorite listeners, Slickrock, a fan of the show, has me all huntered up.
My God.
He's got me juiced on that class. He is so he actually helped me out this past week with making me one of those gadgets that lets you tame the mechanical pets out there that you can go and get.
No.
And so big thanks to him for that. And then he always hits me up whenever there's something special going on, like, hey, the Voltron cats are available out there in Stormsong Valley. Go tame one of those while it's still up. And so big thanks to him for all that. Having a lot of fun doing that. I'm leveling up another hunter and another warrior, and the big thing that happened for us this week is my wife started playing WoW again. Which is awesome. Oh, it's actually quite fun. A lot of people have been complaining about how and we're going to talk and touch on this, but a lot of people have been complaining about how WoW is now with the level squish and how how accessible everything is at this point. I'm loving it because she was able to log in a character, create a character. She made a balanced druid.
Okay.
And we started off in Exile's Reach. You end Exile's Reach at like level 10, and then you immediately just go. You can pick wherever you want to go. We're not doing Chromie time. You get a quest out of Exile's Reach that will automatically tell you to go talk to Anduin.
Yes.
And at that point, it'll set you off into Battle for Azeroth.
Yes.
So what's nice about this is she's seeing all of the game new. Like, this is all new for her. This is all new content. She's able to do all this new stuff. I'm seeing it for the upteenth time. I'm seeing it in a little bit slower pace, which is good because I don't ever slow down and enjoy the game as it is with quests. Like, we'll be questing and she's like, I'm reading the quest. I'm like, you read the quest. You take as much time as you need.
Yeah.
Read the quest. She's like, I want to know why I'm doing this. I want to know why these people are what's going on here, and it's really interesting. So we're having a lot of fun. I was leveling a hunter with her, and then I swapped off back to playing I was like, nope, I can't keep a pet alive, and I'm feeling like I can't jump in front of things. So I went back and power level. I went really quick and got a warrior back up to the same level. So now now it's druid and warrior. She's tossing heals on me whenever I need it, which is awesome. And I got to tell you, out of all the classes to pick, I think she picked the hardest one to play. Like this balanced druid thing is, we're looking at Wowhead, we're looking at Icy Veins. It's like, I don't know a rotation. I don't know what to do. I don't know, it's so she's casting stuff. Things are dying before casts are going off, and it's so. But I think we have it down now where she's able to just, she's doing pretty good now with that kind of stuff. So I'm proud of her with that, and maybe we'll have her on the show, talk about her experience as a new player or something like that at some point. And but it's a lot of fun. It's fun. I'm happy with the changes they made. Other than that, oh God, finally I got the Tusks of Manaroth.
There it is. I've been waiting for it.
Oh my God.
Congratulations.
That was okay. So I've been farming these shoulders ever since it's been a thing. Like I've been farming these things, and it gets pushed to the wayside whenever raid content comes out. And you're doing heroic and mythic raiding. That farm, you can't do that farm every week. And once I slowed down with the raiding, I was able to do that farm every week. I was taking 5 or 6 plate characters through heroic and then mythic.
Oh wow.
And it was driving me nuts to the point where I had to break it up. So like Tuesday on reset, especially now that we're working from home, it was real easy for me to work and then run my characters through Siege every Tuesday. But I was getting burnt out because taking 6 characters through constantly. I have one that was holding a lockout, and
that's a long raid.
Mythic is a long raid, and you can still mess it up on the the supply room. I forget what it's called.
With
anyway,
the boxes, you gotta break open the crates.
Yeah, exactly.
And all that
so out of just dumb luck this week, I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm done. This is it. On the secondary account that I have, the sub is up. I am done. So, and then I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not. So I had my one warrior on the first round I'm going through. I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to do it on Mythic this one time and be done and call it a day. Well, I was very fortunate that on the very first attempt on the one warrior through Mythic, it dropped, and I was ecstatic because I've been farming it, I've been waiting for it, and it's nice to not have that. It's just nice to not have that looming. Like it's something you chase in WoW, and it's just nice not to have that there. Like every week you're like, God, I got to do this again. Because it really gets that way. It's not like, oh boy, I get to farm this. It's Jesus Christ, when will this drop? But other than that, so I mean, I had a productive week. How about you?
Fantastic. Well, congratulations. That's a big one. And for folks that don't know, Tusks of Manaroth are, at least in game right now, it's a shoulder drop that comes off of Garrosh. It's as Nav just alluded to, a very rare drop. These are not guaranteed by any means. They're very difficult to get. The Tusks themselves, lore-wise, are actually really important because it has a lot to do with the story of Garrosh and Thrall and Garrosh's father and all the stuff that happened way back in the RTS games. Those Tusks actually used to be on display. Like, there's a whole lore with these things that, maybe Jin or, some of these other lore shows will go into or have gone into at some point. But that's a big deal. So congratulations. That's awesome. I know many of us have wanted to have those in our collection. As for my side of things, I'm on vacation.
Oh,
I decided, after all, that I would take the vacation that I had scheduled this week for Shadowlands. Even though Shadowlands is not coming out, I'm still taking the time anyway because there's always stuff to do. And fuck it, Why not? I've got the time, and I haven't taken a vacation yet this calendar year, so why not? So that's what I'm doing. I just want to make a mention real quick that, we announced our website on the last episode, and people have been checking it out, and I really appreciate it. So once again, if you haven't seen it or you're curious about it, unshackledfury.com. That's the place to go. That's our new online home. As well as want to thank everyone who's been dropping us reviews over at Warcraft Radio and their directory system they've got over there. Really handy, really helpful. And if you like this show, please feel free to add to the list and drop us a review. Also, all of the usual places that we go, iTunes and all that jazz, you can leave reviews there. But I like the Warcraft Radio one because it's pretty simple and you can just lay down some crazy shit because we've had some really fun reviews that have been left. So really appreciate some of the creativity out there. But check it out. And yes, I too have been enjoying the pre-patch. We're going to get a little bit more into that here in a minute. But alts, my God, I have 5. I have 5 alts. I've never had more than 2.
I was going to say, yeah, you've told me, you're like, I don't do alts.
I don't do alts. You want to know the power of this pre-patch? Brother, I have alts.
It's awesome.
And there's at least one that's max level and another that's close. It's unbelievable.
Awesome.
So, been working on some of that. And part of the house cleaning that I've been working on is, I'm going through and I'm like, what do I want my Shadowlands transmog to be? And so I've kind of been crafting that over time. I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's kind of dumb, but I like to have this is my transmog going into the expansion. This is what I'm going to launch into the Shadowlands with. And I think I've got it, but what I needed was the mount to go with that transmog. And I realized all these years later, 10 years later, I never completed the Glory of the Hero achievement in Wrath of the Lich King for the red proto-drake. Which goes perfect with the transmog that I've been working on. So
nice.
Yeah, so I've been working on that, and I went and I finished that this morning. I just had 3 achievements left, 2 of them tied together in the Oculus. God, I've forgotten how much I hated that place. And riding around on those drakes, and you have to pick some, but not others, and so you got some in there. And then there's the one in Utgard Pinnacle where Zavala has to kill her own abomination, but now that we're so high level, it's hard to get him down low enough health but not kill them, and it was a whole thing. Finally got that done this morning, and as I'm flying away from the Nexus on my red proto-drake, newly earned red proto-drake, and feeling pretty good about it, I'm like, you know what? I gotta get my horseman runs in today, because now that I've got at least a couple higher level alts, right? And then I found out, oh yeah, you can run. So I've been running all of my alts and my main through the horseman fight. And I'm like, God damn it, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to keep running these fuckers and I'm going to get this thing. At 11:21 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, October the 25th, in the year of our Lords, 2020, Berzerker finally obtained the reigns of the Headless Horseman.
Woohoo! Congrats. That's awesome.
That's right. For 13 years, since
oh my gosh,
October of 2007, I've been farming this motherfucker, and now it's finally mine.
That's awesome.
I'm very excited.
Congratulations.
So, yeah. Invincible's still on the list. There's, a few others that I still have to farm. I think Adaman, the Huntsman, in both the old and new versions of Karazhan. The new one, by the way, is amazing, and I don't know that I've ever actually seen somebody on it. Got to look for that one. So there's a few, but I'm pretty happy about that. So I too have had a very productive week. And you even pointed out, between your tusks and my Headless Horseman mount, it seems like, I don't know, maybe the luck is starting to change.
Yeah, I'm thinking Blizzard might have upped the drop chance on some things just to throw us a little bit of a bone while we're still playing the game, waiting for Shadowlands while they work on it, things like that. I think it's, I think they've cooked the loot drops a little bit for us.
There you
So
go.
if there's something out there you're looking for and you're like, I'm so sick of death of farming this thing, it's never going to drop. Go say, hey, look, I'm going to go farm this thing. Even though it's not going to drop, that's what I do. That's my ritual every single time. I'm like, this shit's not going to drop. It's not this time. And then it dropped.
You gotta think positive, brother. You gotta think positive. Come on, bro. You gotta be positive.
But yeah, definitely go give some of those farms that you've been, putting off. Go give it another shot.
Ashes of Alar.
There you go.
Invincible.
We tried it right beforehand. It didn't drop for me.
Yeah. As soon as I got mine and I messaged you like, shit, we gotta go do the others. I'm like, I'm going to Kansas. I'm going over to Tempest Keep. Oh shit. I mean, might as well. Now's a great time. Like
Yeah.
you said, this stuff kind of does get pushed to the wayside unless you're really dedicated about it until these downtimes. Between patches, before expansions, we have, a good chunk of time where it's like, all right,
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to clean. I always go through my achievements. I start cleaning out through my achievements, and I look at stuff and I go, damn, I never killed Heroic Lich King on 10 Man. I just did that a couple months
Yeah.
ago. I'm like, because we always did 25 back then. So, yeah, it's a good time for that. So, yes, we've been clearly enjoying our pre-patch time and have tried to keep ourselves busy here. But I do have a little tale of caution to tell in our rage portion of the show. So why don't we go ahead and jump into that?
Let's rage.
So while this segment could entail the hours that I've wasted trying to track down an RTX 3080, I'm going to go ahead and continue to just forgo that discussion since that whole thing is a zoo. Although there's a rumor that there's going to be a whole bunch dropped on the market this week after AMD releases their new card. So,
Yeah.
God's help us all. I want to tell you all a little story about something I encountered recently with something that you may have seen online that I posted about an unboxing. An unboxing of a glorious statue of Arthas Menethil the moment that he takes up Frostmourne and throws down his paladin regalia. This goes back to the moment in Warcraft 3 when this happened. This statue was something that was originally part of, I think it was a Chinese promotion for Warcraft 3. We here in the States didn't have an option for this, but eventually they made that available for sale, and I couldn't pass it up. So I had to buy one. So I put that purchase in way back in like August. I was like, well, whenever it comes, I'll just wait for it. So during this pandemic, been a lot of stuff being shipped to our houses collectively. I can attest to our household starting a small cardboard box farm because we have so many goddamn packages coming these days. It's
Yep.
crazy, but it's kind of the only way to fly, so to speak, these days. So we're very dependent on the mail and our carriers and deliverers. And God bless them, they're doing so much work out there. And this is not meant to denigrate any of our fine delivery drivers or postal people in any way, and this is not a story about them necessarily. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
No, I was actually going to say, that's funny that you mentioned that because my whole mindset has changed on so many things with that because I'll order something online and in the past, if something arrived and it's a little bit damaged or something, I'm the first person to go out there and go, boom, give me a refund or boom, get me a replacement, something like that because I didn't order this and it was damaged. Now, if I get something and it's a little bit damaged, I'm sitting there going, I can live with this. I don't want to go through the trouble of everything and put these other people out of, they got more important things to do. And I'm just like, if something arrives that's just absolutely shattered, that's one thing. But if it's just a little blemished, I'm just going to be like, I'm living with it. That's it.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Absolutely.
It's just, they bust their ass every day. Those delivery people.
Yes, they do. And, they're human.
Yep.
Mistakes get made, shall we say. So this Arthas statue, you can go look it up in the Blizzard Gear store. I thought this thing was going to sell out like right away. I thought this was kind of a hot item, so I jumped right on it. It's still for sale. They're still available, so they did not quite have the rush I thought they would. So I hadn't heard anything in a long time. I'd ordered my Shadowlands Collector's Edition as well through the Blizzard Gear Store site. I knew that they were going to be shipping back, almost 2 weeks ago now. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to check in on my account and see how it's going. So I fire it up, look at my orders. Whoa, wait a minute. It says that my Arthas statue has been shipped. Holy shit, that's awesome. I wonder when it's going to get here. Pull up my account. It says it was delivered 4 days ago from when I looked this up. It said it delivered on the 8th, and I was looking at this on the 12th. Wait a minute. I have not received my gigantic statue. What are you talking about? That's not right. I asked my wife. I asked my child. Looking around the house. Like, did somebody misplace a giant box? No, nobody's seen anything. Okay, fine. Look around the front of the house. I'm like, I don't know if it's still out here 4 days later, but I'm going to look around and look around. I have a couple of neighbors where our house numbers, if you transpose a couple of numbers, you'll get the wrong address. And so happens time to time on either end of the street, we get each other's mail. So I go down to one and look around and knock on the door and nobody's home and I don't see anything. I'm like, all right, fine. I go to the other one, talk to the neighbor down there. He doesn't know anything. I'm driving around my block, you know, trying not to look too suspicious as I look at everybody's doorsteps. I'm like, do you have this? Like, what's going on? Get back to my house, found nothing. So I call up the Blizzard Gear Store. You know, it's not Blizzard per se, but it's the folks that run their store, Fanatics. I call them up. Woman on the phone, extraordinarily helpful. Super nice.
Oh, good.
I am very pleased with their customer service. I don't know what everybody else's experience has been like, but mine was great. She heard my story, was like, you know what? We're sending you out a replacement today. Don't even worry about it. I was like, what? She's like, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll get it shipped out. It'll be there in 2 days. Fantastic. So I'm waiting. I see it. Sure enough, boom, shipping order pops up. FedEx. All right. I'm tracking it. Oop, it's getting close. Oop, it's going to deliver today. Oh, it's going to deliver in a couple hours. It's going to be fantastic. Hear a knock at the door. Oh, shit, it's time. I go to my front door. What do I see? I see a little old lady, neighbor across the street, with a big open box in her hand.
Oh, no.
She goes, oh, I think this is for you. I said, oh, okay. All right. I haven't gotten a notification yet that this was delivered. I said, did this just come today? Oh no, I got this last week, but I didn't think to open it because I thought it was cleaning supplies, and yeah, sorry about that. 20 minutes later, FedEx shows up, drops off the other one.
Oh no.
So for a period of time, I had 2 of these in my house.
Oh my gosh.
I'm raising on it today because, one, I just want to tell people, check your mail, open your stuff, but look at the address. Make sure it's actually been sent to you. Just double check and make sure, because you never know. I'm not saying that this is the same thing, but I mean, it could have been medication. It could have been anything. I mean, It was a pretty decent heft box. Just check your stuff, people, because here's what ended up happening. I thought for a hot second, you know what? I got another one of these. What should I do with it? Maybe we can give it away. Maybe we can do something with it. God bless my wife, who has actual morals, unlike me. And she guilted me, rightfully so, into calling up Fanatics and saying, hey, here's what happened. I gotta send the new one back. So that new Arthas statue stayed a whole 24 hours in my house before it was back at the post office.
Did they at least take care of the shipping portion?
They did. They were very good about it.
Good.
Everything was free. I just basically took off the one label and just taped on the other one and sent it right back out.
Good for you. Because that is a took the moral high road. That's good.
I cannot tell you how panicked I was. Because that statue's like $130 or whatever it is, and it's like
Take them both out, compare them. This one's got one blemish.
You know what? I thought about it. I was like, well, maybe I should look and do a little comparison, but it kind of goes against the spirit.
You'd have
of what,
spiraled.
Yeah,
it would have spiraled.
it
You'd
would've-
been like,
it would've become a whole thing.
oh, I just found a new thing.
Yeah. So it was there, man. I was panicked. I'm like roving the streets like I'm a PI looking for clues, and it just was what a disaster. So appreciate the folks at Fanatics helping me out. Please make sure you check your mail, folks, because you never know what's out there. And yes, it is a beautiful, gorgeous statue. It is well worth the trouble because I got it right behind me here, and it's it's a great piece. I really love it.
It looks a lot better than it did initially. Like when it first came out on Twitter, I was like, something doesn't look right about it. But right now, I mean, when you showed me the photos that you got, I was like, oh, the statue does look good. It's a good looking statue.
It's heavy too. Like they didn't just make this thing out of some cheap shit. Like it's got some heft, and it's really super detailed, and I was very impressed. Now, is it the $600 Thrall statue that they just put out yesterday? No, it's not. But I'm not spending $600 for that thing. Maybe if they made a $600 variant one, I might sell a kidney and try to reach out for it. But that's
Keep an eye on the site though, because I don't think a lot of people are going to buy it, so it might go on clearance or something.
Yeah, for $400, it's still
For
about
$400,
$350 more than I'm willing to pay. It's got kind of like that face, and I'm like, I don't know. I want him like angry and doing some shaman shit. Anyway, that's the story, folks. Please check your mail. Please be good neighbors. Get your stuff back to your people if something is misdelivered, because you never know what's going on out there. But that's it, and at least now Arthas has a safe home here at the Berzerker compound. One other thing, this is sort of a little mini rage follow-up. I just want to let anyone know who's listening to this on Stitcher, if there are ads playing as part of our show, we have absolutely nothing to do with that. Nav just brought this to my attention, that there are ads that are played either before or during the show or after the show or some other shit. We have nothing to do with that. I don't put any ads on this show. This show is free. We don't get any money for it. So if you're listening to ads, I'm sorry. I have no control over that whatsoever. We haven't done anything. I suppose I could take it off of Stitcher, but I'm a sucker, and I want to try to get as many people to listen to the show as possible. So if you're having to deal with ads, I promise you that's not us. So
right,
that's just a quick little mini rage for folks out there. But all that aside, lots of news to talk about. We're already almost a half hour in. We haven't really touched on the news. And we're going to talk about prepatch. We're going to talk about some other industry news. We're going to talk about how we're feeling about leveling and some other things. So let's kick it off and head into our news. So since we were here last, we have had a little bit of time to enjoy the new Shadowlands pre-expansion patch. And we've, I think, made the most of our time. We've been pretty busy checking it out and rolling characters and pushing all the buttons and seeing what we can see. But it didn't kick off with us necessarily in game. This kicked off with what I think we've come accustomed to a certain degree, is a cinematic. It's an in-game cinematic, or at least the style of an in-game cinematic that was released on YouTube. This was the Shadowlands Dark Abduction. That's what it's called. And in it, we see, I guess, the first foray into now the fallout immediately after Sylvanas has shattered the helm.
Yeah.
And we see our poor buddy Bolvar getting helped back in to Acaris, right? Because they flew it back over to Ice Crown. They knew something was going on. The Death Knights were like, "Oh shit, our boy's in trouble." And he's alive, but he's battered, And they get him in, and he basically starts the voiceover of, "Well, I knew she was coming, and she did, and it's bad, and now she's gonna come clean house. So all these fools are pretty fucked." And you see little shots of Tyrande and Bane and Jaina, and I think Talia's with Jaina. That's who that looks like.
Yes. Yep.
And you see dark clouds overhead, and like nothing's really happening. It's just very ominous. And then our poor boy Anduin, King Anduin, over there at Varian's grave, his memorial. Well, there's no grave because there's no body. Yeah, over at his little memorial site with Gen. Dark clouds, and then boom, these like jailer-powered Valkyrie come out of the sky, yank him up with those chains that Sylvanas used on Bolvar, yoink him up into the sky, off he goes, and once again, Gen is left there with his dick in his hand going, well, I guess that's that.
Looks like we need another Timmy.
Varian gets taken from him. Anduin gets taken from him. Like, this guy's terrible at protecting people. Like, he can't leave Gen. He's not a good babysitter.
No, he's not a good dog.
Ugh.
It's bad dog.
Bad dog. So, story-wise, that's how this kicked off to kind of get us in the mood. And
yeah.
I don't know about you, Nav, and I think it goes without saying that we always love the cinematics, right? Like, we've said it a million times on this show. We're total marks for it. They're always great. We love them. But there was something about this one that just kind of felt anticlimactic, that they did this one out of game, which, I can kind of forgive, but you really only saw what happened to Anduin. Now, I don't know how this plays out in game. Maybe you see more. Maybe there's other stuff that goes on. In the pre-patch, you go into, like, the Stormwind Keep, and Anduin's not there on the throne. So, it's what's-his-face, the...
Turalyon,
yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Turalion's sitting on the throne, which just looks really weird. So,
yeah.
So you knew that something had happened, even if you hadn't watched the cinematic. But it didn't quite land for me, which is unusual. For you, Nav, how did you feel about it?
So when I saw this, I immediately thought, okay, this is an in-game cinematic. This is not a. This doesn't seem like it's a cinematic that was well. It wasn't well. First of all, the way I'm saying this and wording it, it's going to come across all bad. But I don't think it was well thought out or well planned for Blizzard to push it out at that point in time. I think what happened was they pushed an update to the beta realms for Shadowlands, and I think this got data mined, and before I think they got ahead of everybody going, look what we found, it was data. I think they pushed it out.
I do remember that. Yeah,
I think that what you're seeing in this cinematic is immediately following the shattering of the helm, but I think this was supposed to be the cinematic we were going to get for the pre-patch of why all the zombies start popping up in Stormwind and all over the place, and that it starts that event. It's not like the intro cinematic of Sylvanas versus Bolvar or Saurfang and Thrall. It's not that.
Not the fully realized one.
It's not the full cinematic experience that we're kind of used to with them releasing stuff and getting us all excited about stuff. This is an in-game cinematic, so it left me kind of wanting more, but kind of also like, it's like, wah wah, sad trombone. But at the same time, it wouldn't have been this way if it was just an in-game cinematic to me. It just,
It very much was a patch, not expansion scale. I guess if that makes sense, is because you and I have talked about many times our hope that there is that fully rendered cinematic, the Saurfang, epic saga style of,
right? Yeah,
it's that full high detail, that whole thing, as opposed to an in-game one, which you got with Anduin and Wrathion, right? At the end of the last expansion, we saw that one, and everybody loved it. That one was great. But yeah, this one, I guess it's for the severity of the event. Like, all of these faction leaders have been kidnapped. And I think we all kind of knew that was happening. You know me, I try to avoid spoilers as much as possible. But even I knew that something happened. I knew that they were gone for some reason. I didn't know how or why. I just knew that they were. And for it to go down like this, especially because Anduin... Look at Anduin in the battle at the beginning of Battle for Azeroth, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's young, but he's kind of starting to figure out how to navigate through a fight. Here he is, he's having to kind of defend himself, and then boom, he just levels that troll. And
Right,
then
right.
all those fools are either dead or dying, and boom, he throws up that huge heal and just lights up the whole field, and all these people start coming up, and Gen gets that, oh, how you're fucked now face. Right, so there he is in Stormwind, which apparently has no air defense of any kind, which is shocking to me. And these two things just go whoop, ah, and they're out. Like, he has no priestly ability or faux paladin ability to be like, get the fuck out of here, boom, and hit him with a light.
I know.
He's wielding Charlemagne, for God's sake. It's like one of the last artifact level weapons that exists in the game that hasn't been drained of anything, as far as I know. And it's just whoop, he's out. So it just felt too easy. I think that's what it is. It just felt too easy for the gravity of what it is. It moves the story. I get it. We needed that, and that's just how powerful the minions of the jailer are. Okay, fine. Okay, all right. I'll ride with you. I'll ride with you. But it didn't quite land. So we'll see. There's more coming. There's more coming.
Right.
But I saw some other commentary out there, and I was kind of surprised. I was kind of surprised by this one. I usually get a little bit more geeked up, especially on the heels of like the Bastion and all the other cinematics that we just had. Those were all really cool, those little vignettes. But as far as the patch itself goes, I have been having a fuckload of fun. So much fun. I knew that I was going to love the new leveling. I can guarantee that is true because I'm living it. I'm loving it. I'm leveling multiple alts. I'm playing a druid, which I've never played before. I'm blasting through all my shaman. Like, I've already leveled my paladin. My DK is almost up. Like, it's almost like doing world quests at this point. That's how quick it is. That's how easy it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's like you're doing a handful of quests, especially with rested time and some heirlooms, which I've got enough heirlooms for all of the classes that I can have that 8-piece bonus. And my rested time is lasting super long. I'm able to kind of blow through a whole bunch of areas and quests, level up several levels, still have some rested time. All right, that guy goes back in an inn somewhere. Boom, I'm pulling up this next guy, and we're going to run through some stuff for a while. And it's just been so much fun. And Legion is by far going to be the chief leveling expansion just for the cosmetic stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I think I messaged you. I don't know how, if you collect any kind of transmog, you can go through any other expansion. The artifact stuff alone, it just beats everything.
Oh, yeah.
So it's been, that for me, in my eyes, has been a huge success because you have gotten me, a 13, 14-year player, to do something that I have resisted this entire time. I hated leveling. I love it now. I don't know what to do. Black is white. Up is down. I'm just, it's crazy. So for me, that's what I've been doing, and I've just been loving it. How about yourself?
I'm in the exact same boat. It is, what's nice is that it's just, you don't have, the game is 15 years old. It can't, when I tell my friends, hey, you should come play WoW, they're like, yeah, but I don't want to, that's 120 levels. It's not worth it. Mm-hmm. I don't want to sit there and try to level 120 levels. Going from 1 to 50 now, it's really not that bad at all. And
no.
It's fun. I'd be happy if this is the way the game is from now on. If 60 is the cap for every single expansion, and then they shrink us back down to 50 at the end of the expansion and do it again, I'm game. I really am, because
they just make each expansion like a new subset, like a new leveling subset.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Like, 60's a max, and then you go on to the next one, and then you're 50 again, and then they don't have to keep this compounding number game of, okay, so now we're gonna put it all the way up to 100. No, leave it 50. Let people level wherever they want to, because that's what we're doing at this point in time. Hell, I might even level a mage. I hate mages. I might level a mage because it's so accessible now.
Sacrilege.
To just be able to go and level whatever you want. I'm doing hunters and mages at this point in time, but I'm sorry, hunters and warriors at this point in time. But I might do a mage. I have a monk. I have a druid. I have a rogue. It's like, these are all characters I don't touch that much. But now I'm going back in there and going back and looking for transmog items, going back and doing old quests that I need to clean up. I don't know. It's accessible. It's speedy. I love that you can just pick wherever you want to go. I don't feel like anything's left out. I don't feel like I'm missing anything. I don't think the new player experience, they're missing anything at all. So yeah, I'm having a blast. I think this was a very smart move on their part, and I think it's very healthy for the game.
Yeah, it's, as we've talked about a number of times, and I think other people have too, is that it's a lot to ask of a new player to go 120 levels, to learn all the lore, to dive through all the stuff that you've got to do, to feel like you're caught up to speed. Like, for instance, when I've played Destiny 2 recently, we had a little downtime. I'm like, I still have that account. We had to migrate them over recently. We got a little email saying, if you don't migrate it now, you're going to lose all your shit. So I did that a few weeks ago. I played it for the first time in like 2 years. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know who anybody is. I don't know why anything's important. I know some of the characters look cool and sound cool because you got some great voice actors. I'm lost. Oh, there's a Guardian. The fuck is that? Okay, there's this guy with exotic guns I see articles about every week. Okay, cool. Like, I don't know. And that's a lot to ask. So to be able to rip through it the way that it is now, I think that that's a big benefit. Experiencing it now live, I think it's great. To your point, they've even lowered the XP required to get to 60 in the Shadowlands beta. When we had Fraz on in the last episode, they even talked about how the leveling experience didn't quite match up because you could go through all the main quests and still have left over, a couple levels, and that didn't feel right. So they are scaling it down. It looks like XP rewards might be getting bumped up. The required XP for levels might be coming down. Like, getting to the end game is clearly a goal. And
right.
I appreciate the shit out of that. As much as I love leveling with my homie Rommel and doing our thing on launch days, it is daunting for, I think, a lot of folks to then jump through and try to push on. Now, where you and I think have enjoyed it. Not everybody has been a big fan. There was an article recently on Kotaku by Mike Fahey, who is one of the longtime writers over there and has kind of been chronicling his time in World of Warcraft. And to sum up, I think what Mike had to say about this is that it's too fast and that there's not enough time to actually absorb all of the stuff. And in thinking about where your characters have gone before, sort of the epic arc that they've been taken on, new players are going to get short of that experience. Nav is our longest tenured player on this show, having gone through both the short and long arcs of these. And in reading this article, where do you fall? Do you think that this is a fair criticism? Do you think that we're robbing newbies of an experience that we benefited from?
I really don't. I don't think we're robbing folks that are new to the game of anything, because their Warcraft adventure is just starting. Whereas we got to go through and live all of that. We endured the downtime between patches, this, that, and the other. We got to experience the rise and fall of the Lich King, the Burning Crusade, Illidan, all that stuff. Those were good times, and we can reminisce about those good times. But if, for example, my wife, she logs in to play the game, and we're playing, and all of a sudden we're in Battle for Azeroth, and somebody's like, God, remember the good old days of Siege of Orgrimmar? She's not going to care. It's not, she's not going to miss out on that. That's not something she's going to miss out. She's just, she's starting out now. So, for example, the thing I heard her care about last night, it was just something that was, we were coming up on, there's Norrington's estate. We're helping this Tortollan pick a horse and stuff like that. So she's like, oh, this poor little guy. Yeah. I'm like, that's the stuff that's important to new players when they're going through and they're focusing on that kind of thing. Their adventure is just starting. I can't wait till we get to, the other aspects of this game where we get to start doing dungeons and she starts getting to see this new stuff. Same with any other new player. It's now become a which way secret door book with the game. You could do whatever you want. You can level in the old stuff if you want to level in the old stuff. You can go level in Wrath. You can pick the expansion you want and go level in it. I think that is The best thing that they have done to this game, by far.
Well, and it also resolves a lot of the inconsistencies, I think, that we feel like when you've had to go through leveling and you're going back and forth through time depending on where you have to go, and you're picking things up at certain points in the story, and it just doesn't make sense. But if you look at it in the vein of Battle for Azeroth is the current timeline, essentially, for this discussion. So you go through Exile's Reach, and then you go through Battle for Azeroth. You're all caught up, right? You're where you need to be for this point in time, because you've just come in. Like, if you look at, if you wanted to take it from this perspective, I guess, is your character has just finally shown up to the world to do their adventuring after all this other stuff has happened. So it wouldn't necessarily make sense for them to then go back and we're not doing Caverns of Time here to try to make them relive all this stuff. So it does seem to solve several of those kinds of problems, and I appreciate it. I cannot believe how quickly I'm ripping through stuff. It's especially with Legion, I haven't even started doing actual quests in any of the zones yet. All I've been doing are artifact quests and mission table stuff. Just that. And I'm already in the 20s on a couple characters. And I'm barely doing anything. It's wild to me that you're able to move that fast. So, yeah, I agree. I understand. Yes, for those of us that have been around that long, it is an epic journey. For folks that have been around 10 plus years, 8 plus years, hell, 5 plus years, you have had an epic journey to get to where you are for your character. You think about your character as like a real person who's gone through all these adventures and seen all these things. That is a hell of a journey. You're right. You can still go through those. You can still choose to do that as a character. So if you want to, you can. It's still an option, but I think for new people, I don't know that new people are going to care. I just don't.
No.
I don't think that anybody's going to be like, I really felt shorted on this. Well, if you did, fine. You go ahead and do it the long way.
Look at my Tusk Samanaroth. What?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Whatever.
Listen, buddy. 13 years and I finally got the Horseman's Reins, all right? You got a long way to go, kid. So we do feel like that has been a great success. Great success, as our man Borat would say. Do you feel that there's anything that still needs some work out of the pre-patch? Was there anything that you came across that still doesn't quite land, or something you think needs a little more work?
I think aside from the little bit of bugs that I've discovered right now with the character select menu that's driving me nuts. If you try to sort your characters from the bottom up, it puts them all out of order. For somebody who tries to organize their characters, it'll drive you crazy. But other than that, there was a couple of items that were out of Burning Crusade that were dropping that apparently were better than anything else that you could get in the game, and
Yeah, I
that
heard
got
that.
patched recently. So I saw that. There's going to be little tweaks here and there, but Blizzard, you got to pick and choose. You got to pick and choose what you want everybody to focus on, and it's funny that I say that like we have a choice of what Blizzard picks and chooses what they work on.
You mean they don't just do what we tell them?
I mean, exactly.
They delayed the game because we told them nav.
You go out to Twitter and you say, hey, listen, I can't get through this door in Goldshire. It's not like you've got the backing of Ian Hazakostas and his 30 devs going, fuck, we need to fix that door. Let's make that our main priority.
Everybody stop everything.
Everybody drop what you're doing. That's, because that's what happened with this. That's what happened with the 6-month reward. We wasted dev time on this. Yep. The entire dev team worked on that whole outfit. That's what happened. You guessed it. But no, I haven't noticed a whole lot because I'm leveling in Battle for Azeroth, and it's one thing that is driving me nuts is that you don't get boots at Exile's Reach. Like, you get a whole transmog set.
There has been some conversation about that.
And if you haven't done Exile's Reach and you want a piece of transmog, go there. You get a whole bunch of new transmog. I did it twice so I could get all the swords. There's some really cool looking regular sword. Like if you want a regular looking sword, go there and you'll get a nice gold hilted two-handed steel sword and, a single-handed sword, and they look amazing. I love them. They look great. And they go great with an Alliance transmog. Go there, get your transmog, but there's no boots. So that's one thing, I guess. If I had to make a complaint about anything, it's that.
No boots.
The other thing is you, if you're leveling with heirloom gear, like I still have my heirloom gear on me, and the items that I'm getting during questing, they don't match up with the heirloom gear. So part of me is I did take the heirloom gear off because I just want to have the same leveling experience that Lisa's having at the moment, so I can just upgrade along the way. Because if you are leveling with heirloom gear, that's fine. You're not really getting any XP bonus. All it does is it stops your XP.
Your rested XP just lasts longer.
Right, the rested XP just lasts longer. So if you want to look at it like you're getting more XP, well, no, just your rested XP lasts longer. But in turn, you're not getting the upgrades that you would normally get by adventuring. I haven't run into any other real major bugs. It's really cool that like right now we have flying. Like at level 30, you get flying, so you can just go into Battle for Azeroth and you're flying and stuff like that. So it's nice. A lot of quality of life improvements, I think, and not a lot of
Oh,
picking on. There's more good than there is the bad. So I'm and this isn't me, blowing sunshine up your ass and bowing down to Blizzard with everything good. Blizzard can't do nothing
corporate
wrong.
shill.
Exactly. It's not that at all. It's that if you've been playing this game a long enough time, it was getting really long in the tooth, and you're like, man, I just don't feel like playing. With all these improvements they put in game, and now it's fun again. Like it's so.
Yeah. I'm feeling feelings about leveling and playing that I haven't felt in a very, very long time. And as everybody knows that's ever listened to the show, I have only ever had one main character ever. Berserker, Human Warrior, built March of 07. It's the same damn tune I've had all these years. And I have never swapped. I probably never will.
Right.
I've never felt a connection to any other character that I've ever created. Granted, I haven't had a lot. But I will say, the Night Elf Druid that I made, especially with the customization that you have now. So I did a little RP on this one too, like I did with Berzerker way back when. It's got the Teldrassil scars, right?
Oh, nice.
And the one eye's out. He's got the Night Elf Mohawk deal going on.
Heck yeah.
I love the way this character looks and moves and feels, and I'm like, this is really strange for me because I don't get really attached to my other characters because I'm always looking at them going, this all okay. And, I thought about maybe race changing Berserker to Night Elf just so I could look like this one because it looks so great. And I'm like, the humans kind of got fucked a little bit because it's great that they've added, don't get me wrong, it's great that they've added more races, that you have way more options than you had before in terms of representation. It's the little stuff. It's like the scars and the tattoos and the earrings and the little other mishigas that goes around the body. The humans haven't quite, it's like for the Night Elves, there's 3 option sets that you can click through when you're just looking at the different things, the head and face, and then there's, the tattoos on a one, and there's the other options on another. Humans, 2, and not so much. Yep. And not all those options are shared, and it would, it doesn't have quite the personality. So that has been an odd but welcome experience, and I've really enjoyed that. Now, you touched on something that I think we should talk about just a little bit, which is that they recently announced and then gave to us in game, some of us, if you have a 6-month subscription to World of Warcraft, they were giving away a new Sprite Darter transmog set.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you can buy this separately without the subscription. You can get it, I think, for like $20 or something like that. It's interesting. I don't know that it's necessarily my flavor. I see a lot of people that are excited about it, and that's cool. Wear it, enjoy it, have fun. But not everybody that I've seen has been really thrilled again about having an item tied to a 6-month sub. Now, for you and I, right now, we're both in that club.
Right.
At the Bud Light table, at least right now for the two of us, we have 6-month subs that we have purchased. We're not gifted those. We purchased those things.
Yes.
For me, the way I look at it, I know this is not everybody agrees with this. I don't know of any subscription-based service out there where they don't try to incentivize you to buy the sub for longer than month to month. And I'm actually surprised it took this long for Blizzard to do more of this. And I don't necessarily have a problem with them doing this, considering that you can use your in-game gold to buy this stuff if you don't want to buy it with real money.
Right.
Am I off track here?
No, you're not off track. No, and that's the thing. You either like it or you don't like it. I mean, you either do it or you don't do it. It's not like it's not something that you need to be shouting at Blizzard about. It's you're absolutely right. There's no company out there that's why there's no company out there that doesn't want to incentivize you to come back and buying more things. Like, for example, I bought coffee recently. I fell in love with this coffee company that I've been buying coffee from. They send me 20% coupons. You're damn straight I'm buying more coffee using those 20% coupons.
Yeah.
It's like, so it's the same thing, I guess. I don't know, but the same thing, it comes out every time there's a reward that comes out with a 6-month sub. Now, I didn't have a 6-month sub at the time that this came out. I purchased a 6-month sub because I says to myself, I'm saying I am going to play this game for 6 months. So I want the game for $12 and not $14. I was paying for 3-month subscriptions because I'm like, I'm going to take time off. Well, we've had a lot of time off, and now with everything going on right now, I'm definitely going to be playing this well into 6 months from now. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm just going to pay for it now. And I got the fairy thing. I put it on. I showed my wife. I'm like, you want this? She's like, yep. So I think we're going to do the same thing for her later on. But yeah, I don't understand the upheaval. I don't understand the uproar. It's the same thing every single time. Blizzard puts something out. It's not like like I said earlier, it's not like the entire development team stopped and dropped everything that they were doing to work on this. You've got an art department team that works on the art department portion of it. You've got the character modeling. It may be the same as the art department. I don't know how their development works, but they do the art. Then they figure out how it fits on all the models of the skeletal structures on it, and then they just throw it in the game. It's not like they took the entire development team of Activision Blizzard to stop what they were doing with Shadowlands and your precious Covenant system and changes to put this into game. And chances are this was probably built months and months and months and months and months ago, and they're just like, they were going to roll this out because right up to BlizzCon, they always roll something out with a 6-month sub. So this is what we got this time. So you either pay for a 6-month sub, you don't, or you do it with tokens, or you don't, and that's it. And you can run around spitting on everybody that has it all you want, because that's generally the consensus of what you do with people that get mounts and 6-month subs is you /spit on them because they're taking advantage of something they want to in game, and you're not. You just want to shout into the wind, and that's basically what you're doing right now. So
to an extent, I can understand where there are people who cannot afford a 6-month sub. Like,
sure, yes.
I can understand that.
I can too, yes.
Where that is an amount of money that you cannot, in your budget, pony up at one time. I have been there. I
Absolutely.
know that.
Yes.
That is a very real thing. And it never feels good when you feel like you're being punished because you don't make enough money or you don't have enough resources. That is an awful feeling. I get that. And so from that perspective, I can understand that there is hurt and that there is more work required. If, you want to buy that thing in game, you have to have a certain amount of gold and you have to work for it in game in order to get that. And so you have to put in some extra effort because you don't have that money if you want to go that route. I get that. And that's tough. And I don't have a solution for that. At least the way that this is being run right now. On the other side of that, I will say is that this is, as we have talked about several times, this is a business. And when they're able to lock in people 6 months at a time, they have steady revenue, they know what's going on, this is right before there's a big push for an expansion. There is a business side of this that cannot be ignored. And for many people, if you're going to give a bonus for doing something that a lot of people are likely to do anyway, that generally is going to be a positive thing for both the consumer and the business. There are always going to be people that don't benefit from that, and that is unfortunate. There is at least not necessarily a free way because time is money, but there is a way to do it in game if you're dedicated to it. So I would say it's not that you're totally cut out of it, which I do appreciate that there is at least that angle, but it's a discussion we see every time. And to something you pointed to, there's even some talk, I saw this on Wowhead. Was this something that could have been a BlizzCon giveaway? Was this something that could have been part of some other promotion that, now we're seeing because we're where we are? Hard to say. There's also another encrypted armor set somewhere. Nobody knows what it looks like, but they've data mined something. So there's something else out there, and it seems like these sets, like the woolly thing that we got before from BlizzCon last year.
Yeah.
Right. It seems like that transmog sets are going to be kind of popular when it comes to giveaways because it's not a power thing. It's not a mobility thing. It's just a look, right? It's a cosmetic. So we may be seeing more of those, but could be interesting that we do see some stuff that was intended for one thing and we end up getting another. But yes, they're definitely not going to sacrifice a raid tier for that.
Now, here's something though. I would actually like it if at some point I could, if they allow like a one-time gift where here's a 6-month sub. You've paid for the 6-month sub, so you get this thing. And I'm the type of person that would look at this and go, I am never going to transmog this on any of my characters.
Yeah.
Here, you can gift this to somebody. If somebody else really wants it, here you go. You can you get a one-time, you can gift it, and all you're doing is gifting the transmog. You're still paying for your 6-month sub, but you can in turn gift it because I have a way that my characters look. I think some of these things look absolutely silly. I lore it up in my head of I have a story like you do. This is how my character is and how it looks. This is what he wears. This is it. He's not going to dress up like this, and but I don't know. Maybe some options to gift the 6-month subs would be good too. I don't know. I don't want to.
I think that's
I don't
want
to take away any more development time to Shadowlands.
Well, I could see where they might be concerned that people would try to sell them.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Hey, give me $15 instead of $20, and I'll gift you this thing. I could see where they could have some issues with that because it was something that they got for free and they're trying to make money off of it, and that's something that they have to be careful with. But it would be nice if there was some way to transfer that, like a pet, where you can box something up because it is a cosmetic item and it comes out of your collection. It's sort of like, I was thinking about how, let's say you buy a piece of gear and that transmog is added, but if you sell it before that refund time expires, then that transmog is taken back out of your sets.
Oh, yes.
So they do have a way of adding it and taking it out. So, maybe there's a way to expand that. But yeah, it's interesting. I hope people that like it, got it, like it, and they're enjoying their wings, and it's all very festive, and I'm sure it'll look great floating around Ardenweald, and maybe my druid will like, I don't know. But You're probably not going to see it on my Warrior all that much. But listen, you never know. You talked about BlizzCon. So I did want to touch on that real quick. There was a tweet that was put out just this past week, not even, a few days ago, from a Blizzard employee by the name of Sarah Lynn Smith. She, I think, is wrapped up in the BlizzCon group. And she confirmed for us on Twitter that, although they never announced it, this past weekend would have been BlizzCon 2020. That it would have started on October 23rd and 24th. Here we are recording on the 25th. So it would have just been this past weekend. And so people have been lamenting that to a great degree about the time that we could have had that we did not. And I saw a lot of people were posting photos. I posted several of my own from times gone by. I've been looking for, and I'm going to say this on here because I can't seem to find it. In 2014, at the first BlizzCon that I ever went to, this is when I was kind of fresh into the scene with the Convert to Raid guild and that crew and everything that was going on. And we had started the Salad Senate just about a year or two earlier, I think. And we had a really good time. Probably too good of a time on one of those nights. And it resulted in what became a little infamous battle cry for a little while of the Kinsmen, where a member of CTR, went by the name of Sushi, had quite a bit, as the rest of us did, to imbibe. And it resulted in several of us, including myself, standing up on tables and yelling for the Alliance and Kinsmen, and we were going apeshit. It was phenomenal, and we got some major league heat from the Hilton, and I'm pretty sure from, I think Pat Crane said a few things. He wasn't there, but I don't think he was too happy about the way the guild was being represented. But we had a lot of fun. Somebody somewhere out there took footage of it and uploaded it to YouTube. I cannot find it. So this is a call to anyone who is listening to this podcast. If you know where that is, if you can find that and send that to me, I will be forever in your debt to have that link or to have that file, because I cannot find it, and it really makes me laugh my ass off every time. And it's a great example of how much fun BlizzCon is, where you just get fired up with people. And, you know, I completely lost my voice because I was screaming, yelling in that lobby. You know, I was yelling about the Horde, and I was just we were going apeshit. I couldn't talk for 2 days after that. It was terrible, but it was so much fun. So please, if you know anything about that clip from 2014, send me a link, send the clip to me, and I will of course sing your praises anywhere and everywhere that I possibly can. So that's just a quick note about that. But back here for us, Nav, seeing what it's like in the other timeline, knowing that potentially there could have been a BlizzCon. People have been, dealing with that in their own ways. I think for us, if I remember correctly, we did think that this could have been a weekend when it could have happened. Now, I went back and looked through our notes. I couldn't find it. But we did talk about how that first week of November was taken on the convention calendar, did we not?
Right. Yep.
So I think that we had kind of targeted this week. So, but in its place, as we've heard from Blizzard, there is going to be BlizzCon Line in February.
Yeah.
February 19th through the 20th. There is also likely to be some kind of Con Before the Storm something to celebrate the community. Don't have details about that yet, but we've seen some rumblings and talked to some people, so we'll keep that on the horizon. With all of that in mind, Nav, with date shuffling and all the crazy stuff and delays and this and that, do you still feel good about the date that you've picked for the Shadowlands release, or do you want to change your pick?
Oh man, I actually think I'm going to change my pick. I'm pushing my pick for Shadowlands to be well into December at this point. Man, I'm gonna probably go for like the first or second week in December for that. I don't think we're gonna see it in November. I think it's gonna be a December thing, which is I'll be okay with.
Yeah, I think when Fraz was here, I selected the 7th, so I welcome you to join me on that day, because the day that this podcast is going to upload, Monday the 26th, would have been the original launch date, and it's a bummer. I think we all are feeling it to some degree, knowing that BlizzCon was supposed to be this week originally, and then however it happened, we're supposed to get Shadowlands this week, and here we are not getting either of these two seminal major events in the history of our gaming. It's still yet to come. It is a bit of a bummer, but you see the changes that are still coming in the beta.
Oh, yeah.
And they still are working on it. So clearly the time was needed. And hopefully we'll see it. But, as I'm sitting here drinking my Samurai Cola, Cyberpunk Rockstar drink, I'm looking at the horizon going, well, yeah. November 19th, nobody's going to hear from me for a few days.
Yeah.
But whether I have my RTX 3080 or not, I'm playing it, and I'm going to be lost in it for a couple of days. There's not going to be any social media. You're not going to catch me on a phone. You're not going to come to my door and find me, because I'm going to be deep in Night City at that point. You are not going to see or hear from me. So hopefully they give us enough time to enjoy that. I mean, I know that they're not dependent on anybody else, but that's a big fucking deal.
Yeah, I think a lot of the Blizzard developers are going to be deep in Night City as well.
I do wonder. So, speaking of our developers, last time we talked about the new studio Dreamhaven that Mike Borheim is starting up with a bunch of ex-Blizzard folks, and some of the shots across the bow that he'd taken about development over profit. Well, we've had yet another studio come up out of the blue. Now it's Frost Giant Studios. This group is made up of several ex-Blizzard employees. They raised almost $5 million to start this thing. They even have Riot. Riot Games is one of their backers.
Wow.
And this studio, they put out a little video, and they got a Twitter account and the whole thing. This is, at least it seems on its surface for the now, they are going to focus primarily on RTS games. You have a bunch of ex-StarCraft folks that are going to be working on this, and while they were pretty upfront about the fact that it's going to be a couple years till you see anything, as any good game should, it's hard not to notice that there are these studios popping up of these Blizzard exiles doing some of the stuff and talking the ways that we remember Blizzard of old.
Yeah.
So, in conjunction with this, there was also a statement from Blizzard about how all development, active development for StarCraft 2 has ceased. No more co-op commanders, no more little purchasable stories like they did with Nova, which I thought that was supposed to be a whole thing, and then that just kind of petered out. It must not have been popular at all. So StarCraft 2, they're going to continue to balance it, and the competitive scene is still amazing. I still love watching it, and I was just watching a match the other day. It's still great, and I love it, and I hope that they continue to support that scene and keep it healthy. But it does look like, for now, RTS at Blizzard is dead. And it's nice to see another company come in made up of those same people starting something new, which also kind of signals, it's a death knell over there at Activision Blizzard. Do you think, going one step further, like with Dreamhaven, is this a sign of something larger in terms of Blizzard's demise? Or do you think that this is sort of like WCW, WWF, and the Monday Night Wars, where you need a healthy competitor to bring out your best? What do you think?
Well, I mean, but your best is leaving to go to become the healthy competitor. That's the thing. I don't know. It's I haven't been in the RTS scene in a while, and we're still waiting for another hell, we're still waiting for another Diablo expansion.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
in the grand scheme of things, also, Overwatch. Isn't Overwatch 2 supposed to be coming out here shortly? It's like...
I mean, they haven't said when. They just said that they're working on it.
So there's been nothing. And I'm not...
No.
Again, there's not hating. There's nothing. There's no RTS. There's no Diablo. There's no StarCraft. There's no Warcraft. There's no Diablo, and there's no Overwatch. In the grand scheme of things, sure, we're still playing the current game. That's great.
There's no heroes.
There's no heroes. There's nothing new. So it's easy. I can see how, and I can understand how people would go, well, death of Blizzard, this is happening. I don't think it's the death of Blizzard. I just think you're seeing, first of all, development in a pandemic America at this point in time.
Mm-hmm.
The world at this point in time. And time's changing. I'm interested. I will be interested to see what I'll be interested to see what this other company comes up with an RTS, because these companies have to think a little more broadly with I know you got PC Master Race, you got Xbox, you got PlayStation, you got Console Master, you got all the... Well, at some point in time, things are all going to have to come together so everybody can play together, because people are sucked into their ways. So I think maybe, I don't know. These developers are going to have to come up with a better business model, rather than just going, we're only developing it for PC and we're only developing it for the consoles. And I don't know. I really don't. I'm not a big RTS guy, so part of me is just like, so. But for our RTS listeners, I guess this could be a big deal. I would love, what? I would love to see a new Warcraft. I would love to go and see a new Warcraft RTS style game. I did enjoy playing Warcraft and Warcraft 3 and all that, and it was fun.
I think Warcraft 3 Reforged was probably the last.
Yeah, I didn't even play that. I haven't. I haven't even played it.
It's fun. I like it better than trying to play with the old versions of stuff, because it just looks so shitty on anything modern. It's especially like StarCraft. For me, it's hard to play the old StarCraft because it just...
I can't play the old StarCraft either.
Ooh, it's rough. And there's some skins you can get. There's like a Carbot one and some other stuff to kind of make it easier to see. But as somebody who is terrible at RTS games but loves watching them, and I loved the StarCraft story, as much maligned as it got from certain corners, it was very much a Metzen story, and I love the shit out of it, and I miss that franchise, those characters. It was so much fun.
Right.
And there's so many things that you can do with that universe. I sort of think of StarCraft kind of like Star Wars, in the sense that you follow this main troop through this adventure in these places, and you become attached to them, and you find yourself asking, well, what else can you do? Well, it's a big damn universe, and you've set up some really large parameters for yourself. So when you really get down to it, there are a lot of places you can go. It just depends on who you got writing it and how compelling that is, and then tying that into, how do we improve upon the game that we already made? Like, where do you go with RTS from here? Quite honestly, I don't know. Because in my eyes, it's always kind of the same system. I can't believe it's
still popular. Like, I just can't believe it's still popular.
In some places. I don't know how much money it makes, but the esports scene, listen, I'm still watching these matches in South Korea, fucking whatever time in the late at night. Watch them when they go to bed. Yeah. So hard to say, but wish them well. We'll certainly keep an eye on Frost Giant Studios, and we'll see what they're up to. And you never know. Maybe a little healthy competition kicks some ass, and Blizzard's got something in the vault. Maybe that StarCraft 3 is just waiting for that BlizzCon line to give us a little hope, and that's why they needed to put out this little statement. They're just laying the groundwork. Before we go, last thing, just wanted to touch on it real quick. As we mentioned earlier, it is Hallow's End, one of our favorite in-game times of year. We've talked about many times. fall and Warcraft and Hallows. And there's just a magical combination about all these things. It sort of kicks off with Brewfest, moves into Hallows End. Then we get into, the bounty deal, Thanksgiving sort of stuff. And then into Winter Veil. It's like that just wave. It just kind of pushes all the way through October, November, December. It's great. It's great. So right now, Hallows End, October 18th to November 1st. So right now, we're right smack dab in the middle of it. Run your butts through the Headless Horseman encounter. It is real. The mount is real. I can attest to it. I never thought I'd see it in a million years, and there it was. You want to see it and me riding it gloriously, you can go out on my Twitter and see the little chat box where it dropped and me going, holy shit. And I froze up there for a second because I didn't know what really to think. Now, do you have the Headless Horseman mount?
I do. I got that back in, actually got the mount back in, I think it was Mists. I picked it up in Mists of Pandaria.
There you go.
Back then. So
what do you do the quests for now? Because you're still doing the quests. Are you getting treats? Are you collecting stuff?
I go through, I do the tricky treats. I go through and I do all of the it's just, it is for me, it's the love of the season, and I make sure I go through and I do all the same stuff every year, and I'll go out and see the Burning Man and do all that stuff, and it's I guess it's just become, it's weird to think about it. It's become a digital tradition for me to go through and do that kind of stuff. It's fun. And what was fun last night was we had hit 30 and we got flying, and Lise took off. She's like, I'm going to go do these quests. I'm going to go do tricky treat quests.
Nice.
And, it's, I don't know. It's just fun for me to see her enjoyment and through her eyes and experiencing the game for the first time. And it's something I enjoy doing. It's just, I don't know. It's just become an in-game tradition for me to do that. Like I didn't do Brewfest this year, but I did Hallows End, and I have everything for Hallows End. So it's.
Do you have the Headless Horseman's Hearthstone?
I don't have that.
That's new.
That's a thing? I didn't know that was a thing.
This year.
Oh, okay. What does that do?
So this year they added the Headless Horseman's Hearthstone. So this seems to be the thing, is they add a new Hearthstone.
Okay.
'Cause I have the Winter Veil one from last year. I've been rocking it all year. Get a little Santa hat, do a dance, blizzard around you. It's kind of fun. The Headless Horseman's Hearthstone, I believe, when you hit it, you get the pumpkin head, and then you're like summoning fire around you.
Oh, cool.
So it's kind of badass. So I think it's 150 tricky treats.
Okay.
I think that's what you're looking at for that one. You can check Wowhead or go in game and check my math there. But yeah, I think that's probably the last thing I'm going for. There's a whole quest line with hats, and there's some new hats you can get. I really don't care about it.
Well, that's that's something that devs can spend some time on, is fixing the hats, because when I throw a witch's hat on my head, I'm not bald. Fix the hair. Come on. It's like you put the witch's hat on and you lose all your hair, and it's like, what the hell just happened here?
You tucked it up under the hat.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Yeah, so there are several achievements that are part of Hallows End. There's the one meta achievement that's still around. What a long, strange trip it's been, and you get the Violet Proto-Drake for that. And there is stuff associated with Hallows End that you have to do. So it's always great. Throw in jack-o'-lanterns on people's heads. There's wands you can change people into stuff. It's just a fun event, and it's fun to see the world kind of get changed up a little bit. So yeah, through November 1st, that's how long you've got to get your mount, to get your little treats, to get all your little goodies that come out of this event. And we encourage everybody to check it out and have some fun. So, all right. Well, that'll do it for this episode. Other than this fine program, where can the good people find you on the internet, Navox?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch. I'm at NAV_OX.
As for me, you can always find me on Twitter at Berzerker Rage, and this show at Unshackled_Fury. Feel free to contact the show with your questions, comments, or otherwise by going to unshackledfury.com And you can find this show wherever you get your podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Stitcher, Spotify, and Pandora. So once again, thank you for listening. Remember to keep your swords wet and your banners high, and we'll see you next time. Farewell.